In this video, we're going to create a hash value for a flash drive. You can do the same thing for any hard drive, but for the lab purposes, I'm only going to use a small flash drive. Now, I'm going to get the hash values from this volume without having to run an image. You see, normally when you run an image, at the end you also get the hash values, but this time around I'm not going to get the image. I just want to get the hash of that hard drive, or in this case the flash drive. I'm going to select MD5, and here you can see that MD5 is not the best option because there's a possibility of a collision, and what a collision means in this case is that two hash values or two different devices may end up with the same hash value, and that's just not possible because that's the digital fingerprint. So because of that, other alternatives would be SHA-1. You see, SHA-1 is more secure. This was developed by the NSA, so this is kind of like the standard nowadays, but still I've seen a lot of forensic tools, a lot of forensic companies that are still using MD5. Could be just for legacy purposes. You normally want to do MD5 and SHA-1 at least. Now there's other options like CRC32, but CRC32 is not very common. SHA-256 is not very common. You don't see it used very often. So the two that are used the most in forensics would be MD5 and SHA-1. So I'm going to get both MD5 and SHA-1 from this flash drive. Okay, you pick your volume, your hash functions, and then you hit calculate button. But first, let me show you what I have on that flash drive. These are the files that are on that flash drive. So if I get the hash values, MD5 and SHA-1 from the flash drive with these files, I'm going to get a specific value. And then if I remove or add anything from any of those files, you should be getting a totally different value because you made changes to it. And remember that this hashing algorithms, the purpose of it is for integrity. This is so you can check the integrity of the device. So anything that changes after you get the values, it's going to change the hash value, and this is how you know that something was changed. And in forensics, you know that the evidence has been tampered. Now I'm going to add my hash values to a case that I already have. So that's what I'm doing here. You can either just run the hash and you can see the hash values here from within OSForensics, or you can also attach like a text file of the results with the hash values and then save it on a case that you already have. In this case, I'm going to save it to a case that I already have. At the end, once I'm done, this is where the hash values were saved. You see there's a text file, it's called hash results. I'm going to double click on it. And these are the hash values that were just generated. Here you can see that there is a flash drive, it's 8 gigs, it's about 7.50. And you can see both values that were calculated. That's the MD5 and SHA-1. And this is how you get hash values from a drive, could be a flash drive, could be a hard drive, using OSForensics without having to run a full bit by bit copy.